So this is a warm-up for the body. It's based on the Franklin method, and it's going to increase your proprioceptor organs so that you have better information from the body to the brain, better quality of movement, better release. So we're going to start and work up the right side and down the left. This might be the opposite of you in the video, so just make sure you do the right, up the right and down the left rather than mirroring me. And just use a nice, firm tap, but not a slap. And then we're going to work up the sternum and around the heart and lungs and diaphragm. And let's go down the ribs, across the diaphragm, down the other side, work up the middle, tap the back of the neck, and head to the forehead. And I'm just using my fingertips here on the neck, head, and forehead and face. A little bit of tapping on the lower jaw, the masseter. And then let's go down to the legs. We're going to tap all the way down to your feet, back up the front, down the side, and back up, down the middle, and back up. And let's do the back. And back up. Little glute punches, just to release the glutes. Let's tap around the pelvis to the pubic bone. All right. And just take in your body right now. I want you to just, whether you open or close your eyes, just feel your body. Feel the natural sway of the body. Notice your breathing and your posture. And let's tap your left arm. I'm going to tap all the way up the arm to the neck and under the armpit. Think about what it feels like to be the tapper, the hand that's tapping the arm, and those sensations. And then also feel the arm being tapped and that information. Good. And let's just brush any residual tension all the way from the neck down, and let's shake it. And at the same time, we're going to shake the same sided leg. Great. And now let's just do a little comparison, the side that we just tapped versus the side that we didn't. And I feel a little bit more fluid motion, a little better organization in my core, a little easier movement in my leg. You can even do a little hamstring check, and definitely my hamstring is a little more flexible on this side. So let's go ahead and do the other side. Good. Little armpit. And then brush. Release all the tension. Shake it out. Shake the same sided leg. Keep breathing as you do this. And rest. Okay, good. Now we're going to overlap our hands and put them behind the neck. And we're going to squeeze the muscle, the back of the neck, as we flex our head. And imagine you're squeezing a sponge. So if you have a sponge like this, the hands squeezing the sponge, wringing out all the, just imagine this perfect temperature of water running down the back. And then as your head floats up, you're going to release your hands. So squeeze and release. Let's do a couple more of those. Squeeze the muscle and flex the head. Release the hands and float the head up. Squeeze and flex. And release. And you're breathing just normally as you do this. Squeeze and release. And just notice how much freer the head feels. We're going to do the same thing with the shoulders. So let your thumb touch your neck so that you really make sure you're on your trapezius. And we're going to just imagine there's a puppeteer lifting our shoulder, and we squeeze the trapezius as that happens, and then the shoulder is dropped. And we're going to lean us to the side a little bit and dangle the hand and arm. Lift the shoulder, release the squeeze and tassel. Lift the shoulder, squeeze the trapezius and release. Lift the shoulder, squeeze the trapezius and release. And let's just compare sides. So I feel a much lower shoulder drop on this side compared to this. I feel like my chest is more open on this side. I feel a little longer actually here between my ribs and my pelvis. So let's do the other side. Hopefully you're feeling some of those same improvements. Let's find our puppeteer. Lift the shoulder as we squeeze the trap and release. Lift the shoulder as we squeeze the trap and release. Lift the shoulder as we squeeze the trap and release. One more. Lift the shoulder as we squeeze the trap and release. Okay, how are you feeling? So I'm feeling much, much more open here. My shoulders are dropped. My torso is nice and organized. I feel like my breathing is a little easier as far as the movement of my abdomen. And then let's just review. So the diaphragm attaches to the xiphoid process and the bottom 6 ribs. So feel that. Put your fingers underneath the bottom rib. Inhale. Let the fingers get moved away. And then pelvic floor, close, lift, and co-contract that transversus. So you feel a little zip here. And release. Inhale. Exhale. And the exhale, dominant muscles are the pelvic floor and the transversus, the deep abdominal wall muscle. The active contractor for the inhalation is the diaphragm. So inhale, exhale, and just do this with me. Inhale, exhale. So as we inhale, diaphragm moves down, abdominal wall moves out, abdominal wall moves in, diaphragm moves up on exhalation. Inhale, exhale, and if we add the pelvic floor piece to it, pelvic floor moves down on inhalation as the abdominal wall moves out. Pelvic floor closes, lifts, and co-contracts with transversus and moves up and in as the abdominal wall moves in and the diaphragm restores. So I think just practicing the hand models and the coordination of the muscles and making sure that that abdominal, the rectus abdominal muscle, is not activating, because that will limit your breathing, tighten you here, which will impact your voice and make it more challenging for you to really let the body do what it wants to do on inhalation and exhalation. So those are things I want you to practice. And then you can also practice just coordinating the pelvic floor close lift, which is the pelvic floor contraction, the Kegel, and the lift toward the bladder base, as you make sound. So ha, hey, and when I release the pelvic floor, the diaphragm brings the air back in, and the vocal folds are open, so that can happen. The air can go into the throat. So I want you to really feel that. So, ha, hey, he, ho, who. So again, pelvic floor and vocal folds. All right, work through maybe 10 sets of those 5 vowels we just did. And then next time we'll do a little more voice exercising. All right, enjoy.